I was bound to start off a vlog this way, right here at Buc-ee's. This is gonna be a different vlog. Normally, I'm either working, hanging out with another channel, or working on the van. Well, content's getting a little thin right now. So we're kind of gonna do a day in the life. What I'm doing when I'm not doing those other things. I'm on my way to my aunt and uncle's. Y'all know my uncle, Uncle Bill. I'm going to do something for him. We're gonna go pick up one of his trailers and we're gonna take it to Fort Worth, drop it off. It needs to get some repairs. If you notice, I said we. Now before, I said we, like you and I. No, not today. I mean, I'll bring you along, but no, today. Where is you? Oh, there he is. There he is. That's my baby brother.
Hi, I'm baby brother.
His name is Vance. So something cool about him, he was in the Navy for 5 years, was over in Tokyo, Japan, and he just got back last month. I've seen him before that, but he's home permanently now. So I want y'all's opinion. Who's better looking? Really? Honest opinion. Okay, so we're gonna go get some stuff out of Buc-ee's. We're gonna make the rest of this drive to my aunt and uncle's in Houston. And then tomorrow we're gonna pick back up from where we left off on the road on our way to Fort Worth. And we're gonna be hanging out with this guy. So it's a day in the life, folks. Let's do this. And just like that, we're back. So, are you guys digging that new intro? Let me know in the comments down below. So, it's the next day, and I told you we are hauling a trailer for my uncle from Houston to Fort Worth. This is the trailer. It has a massive heavy-duty mass on it. Probably weighs about 400 pounds, maybe. The winch that he had on there snapped. See that? I'm gonna do him the favor and take it up to Fort Worth for him and let them work on this. So, round trip, it's about a 10-hour drive. Just another day and trailer hauling. In the meantime, I have a co-pilot, Vance. All right, guys, let's get on the road.
Oh shit! Okay,
so in light of my baby brother falling asleep on the road, I woke him up and he said he was dreaming about hamburgers. And I just happened to find Carol's giant burger. So my brother and I are gonna go show Carol our giant. What do you think I was talking about? Appetites. We had big appetites. All right, we gotta get back on the road. We gotta get there before 5, and we still got about a 3.5 hour drive, and it's already, I think, almost 2. So we gotta be quick. So let's do this. Okay, folks, here we are, hours and hours later. We dropped off the trailer. Didn't have time to really show that because we showed up at the place right when they closed, and they were pretty much giving us the boot out of there so they can lock the gates. It was a big industrial park. Nevertheless, we got it delivered, and now we're making the 5-hour drive back to Houston. And of course, you know me, I had to go to Buc-ee's. Mainly because I have to have a movement.
You have to have a what?
I have to have a movement.
He has to have a shit.
Are you picking up what I'm putting down?
That's the 4th one today.
All right, see you in a bit. Okay, folks, I got a major freaking dilemma here. So we're walking out of Buc-ee's, and my brother's talking about how he doesn't like barbecue.
What?
So he's disowned for right now, but then he's trying to say, well, relish is as American as barbecue as Texas.
What?
I don't find that to be a true statement.
I love barbecue. I don't like barbecue sauce.
You don't. The barbecue sauce is all about. Now he's trying to recant his statement and saying he loves barbecue. He just doesn't like the barbecue sauce. They're one and the same. Anyway, I digress. But do I? The heart of the matter. So we're talking, and I'm getting other people's opinions throughout the store because I just talked to complete strangers. I'm talking a bunch right now, right? But I don't want y'all to be strangers. Anyways, is a hot dog a sandwich? I'm saying no, and I'm not saying it because I think it's not. No, I'm saying it because it's a fact. A hot dog is not a sandwich. And I am so disappointed right now. I asked 3 people inside of Buc-ee's and they all said, oh no, it's a freaking sandwich, but it's not a sandwich. Like, if this guy over here can hear me, I would ask him. Excuse me, sir, is a hot dog a sandwich?
I feel like no.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's not a sandwich. The first 3 people in there said it was. Leave your comment down below. If you say it's a sandwich, I'm gonna dislike your comment. I'm just letting you know. Vance, is a hot dog a sandwich?
It's one piece of bread. It's not a sandwich.
It's not a sandwich. Thank you. And it's another day. Oh man, that was a lot of driving yesterday, but I mean, that's what I do. I think overall we did about 11, almost 12 hours of driving. I didn't film anything once we got back and once we were on the road. I was just exhausted. I didn't sleep much the night prior. I think this video is gonna go from a day in the life of what I do outside of van life when I'm not working on the van and when I'm not working. Yeah, it's gonna be like a week in the life. What I do when I'm not doing what I do, if that makes sense. All right, well, I've got my little brother inside. We're about to leave my aunt and uncle's here in Houston and head back 3 hours east towards Louisiana. Yeah, I'm gonna drop him off at his roommates. I guess show you guys what I do. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. This video really doesn't have a purpose other than to give you something, but I don't really have much to give you. I have nothing to give you. All you do is take. All right, guys, here we are, another day. I'm gonna show you guys how I find work, but right now, I'm gonna go get a haircut. And I've got somebody who wants to say, hey, this is Tex.
What's going on, people? You all right out there?
Look at that beard. That is a man's beard.
That's right.
I could spend my whole life shaving and never get that.
That's a Tex beard, son.
Go big or go home.
That's it. And most people go home.
Yeah, they can't handle it. All right, but this is my grandmother's landlord, actually. He's pretty cool. He's always helping me out. And we got one of our other friends leaving right now. He's an older guy. He didn't want to be on the channel. He's like 80.
Yeah, but we're going to put him on here anyway.
There he goes. There he goes.
Get out of here.
But all right, guys, we're going to go to haircut, and then we'll talk work when I get back. Peace.
Peace.
And just like that, we are here to get a haircut. I don't necessarily need a haircut, but sorry to say, when I got it done in Vegas, didn't really like how it came out. So we're gonna get it fixed. And we're gonna come here to the place where I've been coming for over 15 years. These ladies here do an awesome job, so let's go get it done. And here we are. How does it look? I got the wind blowing in my face, but all right, yeah, looking good. I like it. Like, so they always do me right. Let's go find something to eat. I'm hungry. Okay, here we are. Before I tell you where I came to eat, you guys know me. You know how I love to stop at Buc-ee's when I'm on the road. If I see a Buc-ee's, I'm gonna stop. One might say I'm a creature of habit. I'm not gonna deny that. When I'm back in this part of Texas, in between working on the van back at my aunt and uncle's and being on the road for work, and collaborating with other channels, when I'm back here, if I don't know what I'm eating, I always come back here. This is my go-to, and I've been here before. Y'all have seen it. Tacos La Bamba. I've eaten Mexican food all over the States, and this is still by far my favorite place to eat tacos.
I said it before and I'll say it again.
If you're not getting your tacos from here, you're doing it wrong.
For tomorrow I'll be gone, and my good gal sitting alone. She hollered her back, Daddy, Daddy, will you come in home? Won't you come on home?
Okay, so that was very nice, yes. I'm stuffed, I am tired. We're gonna go back, we're gonna go hang out with Grandma, we're gonna take a nap, and then after I wake up from that nap, I will show you guys how I look for work for all these work trips that I take, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm beat. Those tacos were awesome. All right, let's go take a nap. Come here, Pickle. Come on, Pickle. This is what I get greeted with every time I come.
Oh, the Mississippi woman, Lord, if they don't beat all. Oh, man, yes they do. Well, I've been looking out my window as far as I can see. I'm looking for the rounders and they're looking out for me. Oh, but why won't they let me be? I'm a high-stepping papa from way down in Tennessee. Yes, I am. Why don't they let me be?
Okay, so I lied to you guys. I said I was gonna take a nap. It's the next day. But don't worry, we're still gonna get to how I look for work. We're on my way. That makes sense, right? We're on the way to do laundry, but before we do that, I needed to stop and get a little drink. We're at a place called Nutrition Depot. They make awesome drinks, teas and shakes, juices, phenomenal. But there's a kid that works here, and this kid has been following me since day one. I told him about my channel before the first video went up, and every time I come into town, we're always talking, and I like him. He's a cool kid, but why do I like him? Because when he compliments me, I should say, on my channel, I can find out real quick if he's lying to me. But here he is. Tell the people who you are.
My name's Cree Simmons.
And what do you do here?
We make teas. They're called loaded teas, but they're really just energy drinks, healthy energy drinks, and protein shakes also. Pretty
cool. And you want to know what's cool about this kid? I saw him hugging a girl the other day. Now he's young. Look at him. He's young. He's handsome. He's fertile, ladies. And I saw him hugging a woman. So I came in here and picked on him a bit. And I'm like, which girlfriend is this? But no, it's his only girlfriend, in case she's watching this. You're the only one. But he made the comment that they've been together, what, 4 years?
3.
3 years. That's pretty remarkable for someone his age. You don't see that much. So kudos on him for being a stand-up guy. Anyways, I'm going to get my drink. I'm thirsty. Catch you guys down the road. Let's go wash some clothes and find some work. Putting it off, and I keep telling you, I'm gonna show you my work. Now I'm going to show you my work, at least how I find jobs. Let's go ahead and pull up the website here. Alright, so first things first, when I go to the website, before I even get to the website, I try to figure out where am I gonna go. So I'm based in Texas, so I go to find shipments. I go over to this tab to pickup areas, and I just start typing in all the different states that I know I'm going to be driving through from beginning to end, starting with Texas. We're going to Colorado on this trip, and I've already driven through New Mexico, Arizona, Utah. I know what the weather's like. I know what the traffic's like. I would like for Colorado to be my end destination before heading back to Texas. We're going to go through Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, Colorado. Put in Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, and Colorado. Now this is all for the pickup point. Apply that. Now we go to the drop-off point, and we're going to do the same thing, same states. Drop off in Texas, drop off in New Mexico, drop off in Arizona, drop off in Utah, and then drop off in Colorado. I want to find my straight, most direct path. Fuel is not cheap, and neither is time. Alright, so now that we got our pickup and our drop-off states, let's narrow it down a little bit further. Right now we've got 289 jobs listed going from those states to those states. But I can't pick up everything. That's just me. Only me. I don't have help. I'm limited on equipment that I can bring with me. Like I'm not bringing pallet jacks and forklifts and just, it's too much. Alright, so let's break this down by categories. Household items, fairly simple. Moves can be small studios, one-bedroom apartments, multiple bedroom dwellings, trailer homes, offices, and other moves. Well, I already have my own trailer, so I'm not looking to move other trailers and mobile homes. Multiple bedrooms begins to become too much as far as the amount of space it's going to take up. So we'll take that off. So we're going to keep this down to small studios, one-bedroom apartments, offices, and other types of moves. And we're going to throw in freight and other. Now with freight comes a whole nother slew of stuff. Instead of going through that, we go to weight. I want to make sure that I don't have a single item that's over 1,000 pounds. So my max weight, 1,000. Apply that because I'm all about the money. We're gonna make sure that I'm seeing the highest before the lowest. This website that I'm using has two categories, auction and offer. Auction is pretty self-explanatory. It's drivers bidding for the job, which means the price is gonna go down majority of the time. Very, very seldom will you see a driver put 500 and they get declined, and another driver put 1,000 and get accepted. It's just going to keep going lower and lower. And then also with that, lowering the price comes, it takes time. Meaning you might sit on your butt at home for an entire week, 2 weeks, before the lister decides this is the driver I want to go to. 9 times out of 10, I stay away from the auction. I'm looking to get on the road now and just get it done. And they got offers. Break it down to offers, which means the person making the listing is putting the price they're willing to pay. So then here we go. You see all of these jobs here. Santa Fe, New Mexico to Colorado Springs. So I want to start looking for jobs and being picked up in Texas and seeing where they're going. So we've got right off the bat Austin, Texas to Estate Parks, Colorado. Before I even attempt to try to get that job, let's find out where Estate Park, Colorado is actually located. Zoom out here. I'm already seeing Denver. Alright, so Denver is a heavily populated area. It's one of the main central cities of Colorado, which tells me there's going to be a lot of jobs going to Colorado, or Denver, I should say, Colorado. It's not too off the beaten path. And we also got Boulder, we got Aurora, so I know there's going to be jobs going to these other cities. So that's a good one to, we're going to star this one in Austin. And then we're just going to keep going down the list. Alright, that was a short list on offers. Didn't really see much more than that, but I did see this. I noticed there wasn't a lot of Arizona or New Mexico pickup. I'm going to switch over to auctions for a second. And I see there's 61 jobs currently. What I'm looking for now is to see how many New Mexico and Arizona gigs there are. And I'm only looking for pickups, not the drop-off. Because once I leave Texas and I start driving through other states, I already know on my return trip, I'm not going to be driving through New Mexico, Arizona, or Utah. But it would be in my best interest to look for pickups in those states. So when I do drive through them to drop off anything that I pick up here in Texas, I can pick up stuff that's coming back to Texas. Or, I might find something in New Mexico going to Arizona. Might find something in Arizona going to Utah, etc., down the line. I am noticing not a lot of New Mexico and Arizona. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go and take New Mexico and Arizona off the pickup and the drop-off. We're going to narrow these searches down even more. So now we're only looking for jobs in Texas, Utah, and Colorado. Alright, so now we're going to switch back to the offers. Get rid of auctions here. Alright, so we got 15 jobs. Again, the Austin to Estates Park, Colorado shows up. We've already got it starred. Now let's look at this. Here's another one, paying $400, going to Midway, Utah, from Salado, Texas. I believe that's outside of Waco. So let's put in my starting point, Houston. We're going to avoid tolls. Hauling a trailer on tolls costs a lot of money. Starting in Houston, all the way to Parks, Utah. So let's throw in Salado, Texas, and we know we're going to Utah before Colorado, and it was Midway. Now I'm doing this because this is going to give me a general idea of my route. Alright, so my top 2 gigs, $400 each. I've got my route. Once I get to Denver, Colorado, I pretty much know if I haven't found anything in New Mexico and Utah and the lower state of Wyoming, which is very doubtful, I need to find most of my stuff on the return trip in Colorado. So that's something to think about later on in my research. Alright, so now I've got those 2 plugged in. Any of the jobs I find need to be along this path. So we'll go ahead and star this one as well. There's a Denver going to Hondo, Texas. I believe Hondo, Texas is near Dallas. Actually, no, that is outside of San Antonio, but I'm still good with that for my return trip. So we'll go ahead and star that one too. Now again, not only am I just looking at cities and states that these are going to, I'm also looking at what they're paying, how many miles it is, but the miles doesn't really matter as long as it's along my route. How much the item weighs, because I got to keep in mind, can I lift this by myself? For example, there's this one item in Denton, Texas going to BourgJr, Texas. I know where BourgJr's at. I'm not going to take that one because that's off the path. That's almost actually, that's something that I could do because it's up here at the tip of Texas. Go ahead and plug that one in. Let's take Hondo off for a second. Put in BourgJr. Yes, I was right. It's just north of Amarillo. Now I could pick this one up. Again, it's in Denton, and Denton is close to Dallas. Go ahead and put that one in. But that means I'd have to carry this load from the beginning of my trip all the way to the end. So now I got to factor in how much room is this going to take up, and is that 500 pounds one items or many items? So we click on the listing to get more details. It's the queen bedroom. So that 500 pound is all the item. But now I got to see how big these items are, because 500 pounds over an entire bedroom set isn't much per item. Tells me that my dolly would be sufficient enough, more than sufficient enough, to do this on my own. But now I got to look at size. They've only got one dimension listed, but yet there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9, 10 items total. So those dimensions are not correct, which happens a lot on this listing. They got one dimension and several items. So now I got to go through here. Luckily there are photos, and blow the photo up and start looking at it and get a general sense of how large these items are, how much space it's going to take up, because now this tells me how much room I might have left in my trailer for everything else I potentially might pick up. So we're going to keep this one on the back burner, but having to carry that entire load for the entire trip, and they're only offering to pay $375 doesn't sound like a good investment for me, but we'll keep it on the back burner. So now I see Salt Lake City to Austin, and it's a mattress that doesn't take up a lot of room. Strap it on the wall, it's paying $360, so we'll star that one. And so this is pretty much how it goes, on and on and on, until I find enough stuff. My goal when I'm on the road, from the day I leave to the day I return, stretching about 7 days, because I like to work a week, take a week off, work a week, take a week off. That week off allows me to come back, work on the van, help family with whatever. For example, you saw me go and help my uncle take a trailer to Fort Worth with my brother, stuff like that. Or come and help my grandmother, go to the grocery store for her, help her clean up around her place. More importantly, just work on my van. Well, not more importantly, family comes first, and then the build. But, okay, so you get the gist. So, I've already done all this homework. I'm just kind of giving you guys a general idea of what it's like for me. So, I save all these. So, from that point, I go over here to all my stars. Now, normally, we've only got 4 starred, 4 saved. I'll have somewhere in the range of 30, 25, 20 jobs saved. So then, at this point, starting with all the Texas pickups, I'll go out, pull up the listing one by one. From here, I can start seeing, let's say for example, this is not an offer job where the lister has listed their price, what they're willing to pay, what they are paying. Say this is one of those auctions, and I had no choice but to star it because there wasn't a lot of offers. So if I want to kind of gauge what I can make off this job, I go down here into the chat where I can see all the other drivers and what they offered. 9 times out of 10, I can see the entire conversation between other drivers and the lister. And sometimes the driver is good enough in communicating to get the lister put a price out there. So this one hasn't responded to any people in the chat, but I see someone already offering $500. You're seeing what I'm seeing. You can read the questions. But mine's down here. I do the same thing for everyone. Even on the offers, I'll put still need to be shipped, and I wait for them to respond. If it's on an offer and they respond and they say yes, then I give them potential pickup dates and drop-off date. And I'm pretty good at gauging how long it's going to take for me when I'm ready to pick up. Because, say I'm in Houston, the pickup's in Dallas. I can be there in Dallas in 4 hours. But it's the first, second, third, fourth, fifth job out of potentially 10 that I'm going to pick up, but it's in the early stages. I'm not going to pick up in 4 hours. I need a few more days to find more jobs, because I want to make sure before I leave Texas, I've already got my trailer filled. I'm going to make my quota that I set for myself, which we'll touch on in a second. And I'd also like to have some pickups for the return trip already in line, because 9 times out of 10, you guys have seen me do these jobs and go and hang out with another YouTube channel, the Lost Renegades, Bus Life Pirates, a Bus Life Story, Leave Her Wild. I hang out with all these channels, even Megan and Matt. Megan and Matt, of all the channels, has been the one that I haven't been able to hang out with the longest. But if I'm lucky, I can plan these hangouts with them before I look for work, and I can plan my work around where they're going to be. So when I'm at the arrive spot to where the other channel's at, I can hang out for a little bit and then look for work in that area for the return trip. Anyways, so once I give them a time frame from the pickup, I give them the pickup dates and the drop-off dates. I usually give myself somewhere between 2 and 5 days from the earliest pickup and drop-off to the latest pickup and drop-off. So once I do that, I start looking for other jobs and do the same. Alright, so it kind of goes like that. Sorry guys, I'm in my van. I've got all the doors and windows shut because I'm right next to the highway. I'm hot and it's noisy and I want you guys to hear me. So yes, okay. So that's how it is, from offers to auctions, trying to get jobs, communicating with folks before I put in those first offers. Now, I've already started putting in offers today on a lot of gigs because I had a lot of people getting back with me. Seemed like they were eager, because I don't want to put in one job or all these jobs, these offers for jobs, and nobody get back with me. And then I only get one job and it gets close to the pickup date and I'm forced to have to do this, because if I don't, I can get a bad review, and bad reviews mean no work. So once I have everything through communication. Sorry about that. We had an interruption. I probably spent about 5 minutes talking to the camera, to you guys, not realizing the camera battery just died. We missed about 5 minutes of me talking, so let's just kind of just wrap it up. Once I get the communications set in place with the listers, that's when I'll start putting in the orders, meaning once I can get verification that they're going to accept my offer. And when I say my offers, like their offers are already put out there, just meaning, hey, I'm signing up for this. Are you gonna have me do it or not? Once I get that confirmation, then I'll put in that offer, because I don't wanna just start putting in random offers with everybody and not have that communication set up. And like I was saying, you know, only have offers and like 10 jobs, but one gets back. And now I'm locked in to do that one job, and I'm going to Florida and it's paying 200 bucks. I'm gonna spend 700 just to get there. So yeah, once all that's set up, we start putting in the offers, and boom, 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 they start coming through, and I'm golden. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, I said a few minutes ago that I would touch on income. I kind of already covered that in last week's vlog, but I'll kind of recap what I talked about. So before Oregon, if you guys have been following along this entire time, I went to Oregon some odd time back, and prior to that trip, I was spending 7 days on the road at a time, meaning from the time I left Texas to the time I got back, I was on the road 7 days. And during that 7-day period, 4 to 6 months leading up to the Oregon trip, I was profiting $5,000 on average. You know, it might be $4,800, might be $5,500 somewhere, but on average, $5,000 per trip, 7 days on the road. Now, and I was working a week on and a week off, so 2 weeks out of the month, 10,000 bucks. Not bad, especially when you make your own schedule. I could have worked more, I could have worked less. But after Oregon, during the Oregon trip and after Oregon, my income went down. Partly because I spend more time on the road. I'm doing more collaborations with other channels. And so, you know, where I was spending a week on the road, now I'm spending 2 to 3 weeks on the road. And by the time I leave Texas and get back to Texas, I will have made somewhere in the range of $5,000 to $6,000 for almost an entire month. So I'm taking a hit, but I'm okay with that. I'm still making money. And my end goal is not to keep hauling things in the trailer. With this channel, with you guys, with the van, I've got long-term goals, and they don't include me hauling a trailer around all the time. I'm hoping by the time I'm done with this van, I'm at a stage with YouTube and with you guys, but I want to get to a point with YouTube to where YouTube is funding the trips. Now I'm gonna take a massive income hit. I'm gonna go from making $6,000 and $10,000 a month to like maybe $1,000 if I'm lucky. You know, I've already done the math. Once the van is paid off, I have no debt, everything's done, I can live on the road for in the range of $600 to $800 a month. That'll cover my gas, and that'll cover my food, insurance on my vehicle, and my cell phone. That's it. Those are my only bills, I guess you could say. So yeah, taking a massive hit. Once the van is done, I'm on the road full time. I've got a 3 to 5 year plan that I'm going to try to unfold over time. It's gonna be leading into better cinematography, better videos. I don't wanna say longer videos, but my average video lasts about 10 to 15 minutes. Here of lately, they've been about 30 minutes. Most videos will be about 25 to 30 minutes long, longer format, but much, much, much better cinematography. I want to get more into my photography. If you follow me on my Instagram, you've seen a little bit of my photography, and that's amateur stuff, I'm looking to really dive into that and get that going, you know, full send. So yeah, but that's a topic for another day, another video, one thing at a time, work, get this van done. So yeah, I'm actually on my way to a park. I'll catch back up with you there. All right, guys, peace.
All right, so what I'm about to tell you guys isn't something that I normally do. I was even struggling on whether or not if I was gonna do this little interaction here and tell you this, but thinking about it, I find it kind of comical, which being comical falls in line with sort of who I am. Which a lot of y'all know this already. Just left my grandmother's to go to this park, and I turn off one major street in the city that I'm in onto a back road that connects to another major street on the highway. Anyways, as soon as I pull onto this back road, another vehicle, a red truck, pickup truck, pulls out in front of me. But I noticed something odd. the passenger door is open and I see that there's a passenger and I'm like, okay, what's this? Now this little town that I'm in, it has a reputation. So I'm thinking, oh great, someone's about to throw up out the side of their vehicle. So I'm keeping my distance because, you know, I don't want puke being sprayed all over the front of my windshield. Anyways, so I'm following them, and we come up to this stop and red light intersection. They don't stop. I stop and then I keep going. But at this point, I've noticed them swerve a little bit and I've seen some commotion in the cab. So I was like, all right, this seems like a domestic dispute. And boy, was I right. Oh, let's switch angles here. Holding this camera is heavy. All right, we'll pick back up. Just 1 second. Let me go find a place to park.
Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Before I pick up where I left off, just to kind of give you a little behind the scenes of some footage that we all know. So we all know my intros, the old and the new, because the old and the new start off the exact same way. My shoes. That little slide in intro was done right there. The sun's kind of bright in that area, but there's a concrete pad. I came in and slid right there, but I had to go all the way over there. But there's like a sand area for playing volleyball. I carried sand all the way over here, from there to here. Little fun fact, my intro was done right here. So yes, anyway, where did I leave off? Door on the passenger side was open. They're going 60. They were swerving. They ran through the stop sign, the stoplight. I stopped, sped back up to catch up, because at this point I realized something's going on. It's probably some type of domestic dispute. Now, normally, I would not intervene in a domestic dispute because it's none of my business. But when there's clear violence at hand, I'm gonna step in. It's the right thing to do. I don't care what anyone says, especially if the man is hitting the woman. Well, somebody just messed up. Well, some of my friends already kind of know a little bit about me and how itchy I am to jump at the opportunity to do things. As soon as I saw him hitting her, I could see through the back of the windshield of the pickup, grabbed my phone, and I was gonna call the police, report the plates, let it be that. But as soon as I picked up the phone to call the police, they pulled over. So I pulled over, and immediately the woman gets out of the truck with the backpack, and you can see she's crying, and she's hurrying away from the vehicle. Then the man gets out, and as soon as he gets out, I get out. But I don't know the situation other than I saw him hit her multiple times. And from the start, passenger door was open. I'm like, is someone gonna throw up? Okay, is someone gonna jump out? Is someone gonna be pushed out? What is going on here? Then I start piecing the puzzles together. So when I get out, I also get out my 55,000 volts of electricity taser. I don't care what people think. And I pointed at him and I tell him to get back in the vehicle. Said it a little differently at the time, and I told her to go stand by my van, and I had the police on the phone with me the whole time trying to wrangle this guy, keep her away from him, and vice versa, and then also give my whereabouts. Thankfully there's GPS tracking because the cops told me where I was at before I told them where I was at. That whole situation ended with about 10 police officers on the side of the road in a small podunk town. Not that this matters. Apparently I was not the first person to call the police on them today. They had just gotten a call minutes before I called. Apparently this fight started in a grocery store. They were called on yesterday. Start piecing the puzzles here, connecting the dots. You're finding out very quickly what type of couple this is. Cops didn't really have anything nasty to say to me at all. They were cool. They just showed up because they heard someone had a gun. And I was like, no, it's a taser. It's a taser. But they're like, okay, you're cool. And then the other guy that I was pointing the taser at was cussing me out something severe, which I thought was hilarious because he wasn't saying a peep before the cops got there. I let him be, and the cops put him in his place and told him he needs to shut up before I get disrespected. It's like the cops were like, I'm thinking, wait, are you telling me if this guy keeps cussing at me, I can go ahead and taser him? That's what I was hoping he would say, because it would not be my first. But yeah, no, week in the life outside of van life and work life. Okay, anyways, yeah, I could keep going on and on, but I wasn't there much longer. I didn't have to file a report or anything. After about the 10th cop showed up, and I told the third person what I had saw and what I had done. They're like, yeah, you can go if you want. We got this. We're used to it. So yeah, I almost got to taser someone. Yep, that's about it. That's what I do outside of van life, outside of work. I mean, I showed you a little bit of how I find work, but yeah, I don't do much. So we went and washed some clothes and played on the computer a little bit and hung out with my brother. I don't know if y'all have noticed with the background, y'all might notice I'm not where I normally am. We're back in Deep Ellum. So that means I'm outside of Dallas. And that means I'm on another work trip. But you will see that later. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go hang out with some friends. We're gonna chow down on some barbecue. Who am I hanging out with? Oh, shit!
Is a hot dog a sandwich? Okay, this is a very tricky one because Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg answered this question. She was asked it, I believe, by David Letterman to be funny. So they think, okay, let's ask the Supreme Court Justice this most ridiculous question. However, she took the time to answer it, and she said yes. She said it is meat between two slices of bread. That is the definition of a sandwich, and that, yes, it is a sandwich. Now, I guess that would be official. The Supreme Court Justice weighed in on it, and only one, I think whatever their answer is, just by default of it being our only answer, makes it the official answer. I just don't think that's a sandwich. And I don't think that Ruth Ginsburg is correct when she says meat between bread, therefore constitutes a sandwich. I know a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, by example, is between bread. It is what's between the bread that is very relevant, but it has no meat at all. So I don't know that I agree with the definition. And I also think it comes down to condiments. Not to mention the fact that whoever created a hot dog did a great job, and he doesn't think it's a sandwich. I think if I were the inventor of something, particularly something that caught on nationwide and even worldwide, I would have poetic license to then define what it is. If I don't want it to be in the category of sandwich, I don't think anybody, including a Supreme Court justice, should be able to tell me it is.